Welcome to Women Wednesdays. Today, I'm super excited. We have a special guest here with me today. Her name is Debra Fine, and she is a keynote speaker, a corporate trainer, and a best-selling author. So if you haven't bought her book yet, the book is called The Fine Art of Small Talk. Check it out. Go on Amazon after this. She teaches so many things and provides us with the tools to help better ourselves and basically building rapport. And if you guys haven't listened to my video on how to network with authenticity yet, I talk at length about being genuine, but also giving others a chance to really talk and you to get to know them as well. But Debra Fine does a better job in that. She goes beyond, and she is here to kind of show us the way today. And with that in mind, I also want to share that Debra's a 25+ year member of the National Speakers Association. So she's the real deal. She knows her stuff. She's here today to teach us a few things and to help inspire us women leaders out there to just continue and forge our path, forge our own way, and build our own brand. So with that in mind, let's get started. Please join me in welcoming Debra Fine. Yay, virtual applause.
Thanks, Pam. Well, I can't tell you what a joy it is to be with you because, as your audience probably knows, but if they don't, I'm going to remind them that you and I have so much in common. Number one, you're an engineer and I'm an engineer, and neither one of us is, I don't think you're practicing in that field anymore, right? And neither am I. And you have reinvented yourself in such an entrepreneurial way that is beyond, it shows leadership, it shows innovation. And I know that's one of the reasons I said yes. I mean, I hope I say yes more than no in my life, but I said yes because you are an inspiration to especially women. I have 2 daughters, and especially women, to know that you can be whoever you want to be. You just have to put the next foot forward. And that is what you've done, Pam. And that's what's so impressive about you.
We're going to start with our first question, Debra. And in general, a lot of students who are graduating right now, I think they're all looking to apply, but they're going against a lot of folks who have been either furloughed or have lost their jobs, have been in the business for so long. So if you're just getting started right now in your career, you want to go into whatever path you want to go into, what are your 3 top tips that you recommend for students, leaders out there to build their personal brand?
Well, here's the number one that I would say is to always, when it comes to networking, to looking for your first opportunity or your next, is to always ask people that you already know, who do you know? And this has to be followed through for the rest of your professional life. I haven't seen when I see the end of my professional life, maybe that is when I'll determine that I should do it for the rest of my life. But the question, who do you know, is so important because not just how can you help me, but how can I help you or know of someone to connect with someone else or anything along those lines. So be a giver. Who do you know that might be looking for someone who does this, this, and this? Number one, you're not putting them on the spot, right? You're not saying, do you know someone at your organization that might be hiring? Who do you know that I might be able to get some advice from? Who do you know that is an expert in industrial warehouses at this time that I could get to know and talk to? And then the real key for your brand is to be the kind of person that stays in touch. I think staying in touch is critical because otherwise a year from now, when you reach out to me, and I don't mean you, Pam, I mean anyone, and I haven't heard from you for a year, we linked in, we connected, because we've met somewhere, somebody introduced us, and a year from now you give me an ask or a transactional type thing. You know, I just started a new opportunity. I provide these services. Would you be interested? That's awkward for me. I think you should stay in touch with people, and that should be part of your brand, because you never know when you. Pam is a good example. I'm a great example as well. You don't know where you're going to be in 5 years, a year, whenever. So the real key is staying in touch with people so that you can help them and they can help you. So that's one way to build your brand right away. Be a networker, be a real networker. And a networker is someone who branches out as much as possible, because the other key to getting a new opportunity when you are, especially entry level, but anytime, is if you can apply to an organization, but at least know one person there or know someone that knows someone, that is the key to beating these algorithms. And I'm saying that as a former math whiz. Like, how do you beat an algorithm? oh, I know, with the human touch. So the only way to get that human touch is to build that network now so that you are able to say, you know, I know somebody in your R&D section, or I know somebody in a data collection or whatever that could take your resume, bring it up to the front, get past those recruiters and get some attention for you.
So how did this all come about? Can you share with us your background?
Thanks for asking. The short story is that I was an engineer who didn't like being an engineer. I pursued it because I was great at math, and I guess you could say I didn't really like people that much because they really tried to push me into teaching, and I probably would have, it turns out, been a good teacher. But I went into engineering, and then I actually, and I hope this inspires people, and I don't want to say too much that's uncomfortable, but I chose to be a stay-at-home mom. And that was something that I really wanted to do, and I was financially able to do it from the time my kids were very little. But unfortunately, some bad things happened, which I won't go into, and I found that I had to go back to work. And so I had this idea. I don't know where it came from. I had really transformed myself from this introvert who didn't have girlfriends, who didn't even have mom friends, who didn't connect with people. And I also was obese. So let me add that. So in this transformational time in my life, I lost 80 pounds. I decided I'm going to make friends. How do people make friends? What are they doing that I don't have this gift of gab. I don't know what they're doing. And I would observe people, and I transformed that. I did gain girlfriends and build relationships in the community. And when I found myself as a mom of 2 kids who needed to go back to work, I had this idea. What if other people need these skills? What if I'm not the only dork out there who wasn't born with the gift of gab? What have I done with conversation that has built these relationships that I didn't have before? And so as an engineer, I think because I was an engineer, I started to look at it and label it. So people do this. These are icebreakers. This is what works. Oh, these are exit lines. This is how you get away from people when they're holding you hostage, telling you how brilliant their 8-year-old is. Oh, and I started creating curriculum, because the truth be told, until that moment, I just thought it was just me. I thought I'm the only dork around that doesn't know how to do this. And I think because I was so overweight, I also thought, well, it's overweight people who are shy and awkward and whatever. Well, then I lost all the weight and nothing magic happened. You know, I didn't get friends. So that was the inspiration. And then I happened to see an advertisement in a lifelong learning catalog here in Denver, where I live. And it said they were looking for an instructor on small talk. I mean, it shocks me to this day. So that was in 1991. And I thought, oh, small talk. I taught myself how to do that. I researched it. Why would anybody else want that in a class? Oh, they do? Oh, I'll go audition for this. I'll apply for it. And I'd never spoken to people. I'd never actually, even what you see today, I never did my nails or my hair. I was a hippie. I didn't care about stuff like that. I put on a dress, fixed my hair. Still
Wow.
didn't wear lipstick then. That's in front of somebody alone in a room, and did 10 minutes on small talk. And they hired me. And what I didn't know is they would have hired anybody as long as you could speak decent English. And I started this class on small talk for adult learners. And it went from 10 people to 50 people to, I cut it off at 75 people eventually because I couldn't manage all these people. Somebody said, can you come up to our conference and speak? Can you turn that into 45 minutes or an hour? Can you do that? Sure. They said, well, what's your fee? I said, what's your budget? And that's a good question, all you entrepreneurs out there. Oh, that's the best question I ever asked anybody. What's your budget? And the answer was $1,000. $1,000 for an hour's work. Wow, that's good. Oh, and you'll pay for my room and oh, okay. So the idea went off, and then I just started cold calling and turned it into a business. And let me add let me frame that for those introverts that are watching, or those shy people, or just those people who find networking excruciating, whoever that might be. And networking now, even virtual, means maybe tell yourself one time a day you're going to reach out to somebody from your past, or somebody that you worked with before, or somebody that you went to school with. Why don't you make that? something to do to build that network. But this is my best advice to anybody who doesn't love networking. Turn it into a task. We're all great at tasks. I mean, whether it's I did my laundry, I didn't come on with a wrinkled blouse, that's a task. I don't like doing it. When I used to go to networking groups before the pandemic, even though I teach this for a living, I would, before I entered the room, would tell myself, here's your task. You're going to meet 3 new people, or 2 new, or 4 new. I got to pick the number. I'm the boss of that. And the task was I had to meet those 3 new people. And once I had met them, walked up to them, started a conversation, whether it went well or not. Guess what I got to do after I did my task? I got to leave early. I got to drink, because I like cocktails. I got to go sit in the lobby, hang out with my little, device until it was time to sit down for dinner at my assigned table. If you turn it into a task, I will reach out to 1 person a day from my past, or someone that I read about in the news, or anything like that, with this genuine conversation starter. If you turn it into a task, it will be so much easier. And once you've met your task, you're done. It won't feel so overwhelming. It is overwhelming to walk into a party or an event or a networking opportunity, not knowing anybody and thinking, well, I need to meet people, and thinking everyone is looking at me. Everyone is looking at me. No, 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 no. From now on, you make it a task. You accomplish your task. You do it once a day, once a week, whatever's good for you, and you're done. And that is, Pam, it's magic if you do it that way. It has to be a task. So any task, and everyone watching this, I'm absolutely sure, did very well at school, does very well in their profession if they're already involved. That's a task. If you can do that, you can do this. Turn it into a task. Extroverts, let's not let them off the hook here, Pam. So this is what happens to extroverts. They put out this energy and they collect people. People just come around them. Think about that. Wouldn't that be great if people just made it easy for them? They're the pretty people. They're the people, that everybody goes around. Hey, be a leader. Look across the room. Walk up to somebody you don't know and introduce them to all these people. That's what a good networker does.
I do want to close out our professional questions portion here with, what are your top 3 business goals? How can we out there help you? What are you looking for, Debra? I mean, we all, I'm of the mindset of, we're a community. We all can help each other as well. And I want to keep you in mind, or I'm asking others right now to keep Debra in mind if there's something out there that would fit what you're looking for.
Well, that is the kindest, most generous question I've been asked in weeks. So thank you for that. Really, I didn't see that coming. So thanks. What I need more than anything is to be booked. Everything was canceled, and I'm reinventing myself, and I've booked virtual programs, nothing to the pace of what I had on my calendar. And I think a lot of that has nothing to do with me. I think it's the nature of, up until about 2 months ago, people were sort of frozen. Are we going to hold this conference? Are we moving forward? Is it hybrid? Is it virtual? Is it whatever? So now that's why I think I've gotten a lot of activity recently, certainly not to that level. So if anybody is looking for training and or a virtual keynote, or just, a half an hour of tips and tricks for communication, I hope they'll keep me in mind, and I would really appreciate that. And that's really the best help anybody could do for me, is to keep me on top of mind, or simply pay it forward and help somebody else get a job or find a referral source. I mean, I really do know that if you do that for people, it's the best feeling in the world. I mean, even when I think back of all the people I've fixed up, because I meet so many new people, at least I had audiences of thousands. I would meet people and I would go, oh, they should be so-and-so. I mean, if they were in Colorado, if they were outside, it was hard to fix them up. But I mean, even fixing people up and introducing them is great, or turn them into friends, or there's just so many. Pay it forward, see what you can do, be proactive. You don't need to be extroverted, introverted, shy or not shy. You just need to think of, how can I help somebody today? Obviously we all need to help with food banks, volunteering, registering to vote. We all need to help. I'm talking about a different kind of help. It's called help, where how can I help somebody concretely via networking today? So that's how they can help.
That's a good mindset to have. How can I help someone else today? And well, that ends our professional session. I'm excited.
Now I'm scared.
That's what everyone always says, but
Yeah.
this is like so fun for me because I get to just throw questions at you. So for this lightning round, it's just random questions and go with like your first instinct. So what is your favorite color?
Purple.
And your favorite place?
Italy.
Great. And how about a favorite music genre?
Rock and roll.
Wonderful. Favorite food?
Pizza or whipped cream?
Oh, now that's interesting.
Not together, ever, ever, ever. Well, the joke is that I'll eat anything if whipped cream's attached. And I just love whipped cream. I don't know why, but I love pizza.
Cream? Do you like fresh whipped cream?
Well, I do, although I'm putting a cautionary note because one of my sisters makes her, you know, she's quite the baker and she makes whipped cream, but it's not as good as Cool Whip. So I don't know. I'm just throwing the light Cool Whip. The light Cool Whip I love.
Okay, so the last question would be, are there any final words you want to share with all the emerging leaders out there listening?
To be a leader is to take a risk, to be willing to take the risk, whatever that may be for you. And baby steps are fine. The risk of, like we talked about earlier, reaching out to people on the phone that you haven't talked to in a while or emailing them, the risk of starting your own business, doing it on the side if you have to. And, you know, when I started this business, I didn't just start this business. I started a different business first, and then I started another one. And guess what happened? I mean, they didn't require money, but I had an original idea that had nothing to do with this. It had to do with a product, and it didn't work. And then I had another idea, and it didn't work. And then I had this idea, and it worked. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid of a failed marriage in my case. Don't be afraid of when I couldn't get an agent. You know what I'm afraid of? Let me tell you. Everybody that's watching has people that they care deeply for. In my case, it's my children and my husband. And I always remind myself when I feel scared, and I haven't felt scared for a long time, but when I felt scared years ago, I would tell myself, they can't hurt my children. They don't even know I have them. What would be hard is if something bad happened to your father or your mother or your sister. That's hard. It's not hard when somebody says no to you. We don't want to represent your book or publish your book. It feels hard, but that's not what real hard is. So that's my best advice is to just wake up the next day and start over.
Oh, that's so wonderful right there, to encourage us to just embrace that failures do happen, and it's not a testament to your character. You just continue on. It's a setback, but maybe it's because you're going to leap in bounds for another path that you're meant to be on. You just might not see it right now, but it'll eventually happen. So thanks for giving us this, the motivation and the inspiration, especially during this time where our basic human need to socialize is kind of inhibited for the sake of survival, right? And I think half of the time that makes it already hard enough to come and network or to try to step out and say, I'm looking for a job. Will you keep me in mind in the future or something, or to even go that far? There's a lot of stressors in the world right now. And if you can set yourself up for that success, then try again tomorrow.
It is. And we talked about pizza, whipped cream, and spaghetti bolognese. And you know what? I had to learn this the hard way because I was so overweight I've been on diets my whole life. If you and I got to dine together and we got a pizza and spaghetti bolognese and whipped cream, I would join you in eating them. I'm not the kind of person that would say, oh, I don't eat that anymore, because I really don't eat pasta regularly and I don't eat pizza regularly, but I would enjoy myself with you and all that. And instead of thinking, oh, I messed up, I'm fat again, or I just say tomorrow's a new day and I'm going to be good tomorrow. And so when you fail, even at dieting, you have a bad day, tomorrow's a new day, be good tomorrow. Don't make an excuse, well, I was bad yesterday, so I'll be bad today. I failed yesterday, everyone rejected me. Tomorrow's a new day, try again. Just try, put another foot forward if you possibly can. Get out of bed and put your next foot forward, and you really will, whatever success is for you. And success for me is peace.
Well, thank you so much, Debra, for coming.
Thanks. Great to be on your program. I look forward to staying friends and doing anything for you that I possibly can, Pam. Seriously.
Same here. I feel the same. And for those of you out there who have any follow-up questions, please, message us, comment, subscribe to our channel. What I would love to do to help Debra with her future business goals is, if there is enough interest, if you guys want to learn about branding yourself or how to build the rapport, especially right now when we're mostly online, or maybe we're just mostly on the phone, we're not as face-to-face as much. I'd love to bring Debra on, and maybe she could speak to a group of us. So do let us know if you're interested as well. I'm starting an interest list. That I've decided. We are starting an interest list. We'll let you know, Debra. We want to book you. So
thanks. Thank you.
Thanks
Great
so
to be.
much. All
Thanks
right.
a lot, Pam. Talk to you soon.